Imagine waking up tomorrow and your smartphone is gone. No TikTok, no Instagram, no YouTube shorts, no endless notifications, just you. And 30 days without the little screen that follows you everywhere. At first, it sounds almost impossible. But what would actually happen? Would you become more productive? Would your attention improve? Or would you simply replace your phone with something else? Let's start with day one. Day one. The strange silence. The first morning feels strangely empty. Your hand reaches for the phone before you even think about it. But there is nothing there. You eat breakfast without scrolling. You walk somewhere without checking a screen. And suddenly you notice something uncomfortable. You have more empty moments than you remembered. Waiting for food, standing in line, sitting on the bus. These tiny moments used to disappear into your screen. Now they are just silence. And silence can feel surprisingly loud. Day 3, your brain looks for something. By day 3, the habit becomes obvious. You reach into your pocket for a phone that isn't there. You walk into a room and instinctively look for a screen. You might even feel bored. But boredom is interesting. When your brain has nothing immediately demanding attention, it starts looking for something else. You might start drawing, reading, walking, talking, or simply thinking. So what happens when boredom stops being something you escape? It can become the beginning of an idea. Day 7, time starts feeling different. After 1 week, something else becomes noticeable. The day feels longer. Not because there are more hours, there are still exactly 24. You simply aren't filling every empty second with scrolling. One study by Adrian Ward and colleagues found that even having your own smartphone nearby could reduce available cognitive capacity during certain tasks. The researchers called this effect a kind of brain drain. The important point is not that smartphones are evil. They are incredibly useful tools, but attention is limited. And your phone is designed to compete for some of it. So what happens when that competition suddenly disappears? You may begin noticing how often your attention was being pulled away. Day 14, the world gets loud again. 2 weeks have passed. Now something unexpected happens. The world around you becomes more interesting. You notice conversations, you notice sounds, you notice places you normally ignore. A walk is no longer something you fill with a video. A meal is no longer interrupted by notifications, and waiting doesn't feel quite as unbearable. You start discovering something humans have always had. The ability to simply exist without constant stimulation. But there is another change. Nighttime becomes different too. Day 21. The night feels longer without a smartphone beside your bed. There is no endless final scroll. 1 video becomes 10. 10 becomes 30. And suddenly it is much later than you expected. Research reviews have found associations between heavier smartphone or electronic media use and poorer sleep outcomes. That does not mean every phone user will sleep badly. The relationship is more complicated than that. But removing the screen from your nighttime routine removes one very easy source of distraction. And suddenly, bedtime actually feels like bedtime. You close your eyes, and there's nothing left to scroll. Day 30, the real experiment. Then day 30 arrives. You finally get your smartphone back. And something feels different. The phone hasn't changed. You have. You now know exactly how much of your day can exist without it. You might turn it on immediately, or you might hesitate. Because after 30 days, you have learned something important. The smartphone was never just a device. It became a place where boredom went, a place where attention went, a place where silence went, a place where spare time went. And perhaps the biggest surprise is this. You don't necessarily need to throw your smartphone away. You just need to remember that you are supposed to control it, not the other way around. Because your phone can give you information. It can connect you with people. It can entertain you. It can even help you learn. But it cannot give you back a minute you already spent scrolling. So imagine waking up tomorrow. The phone is still sitting beside you. The screen is still glowing. The notifications are still waiting. But this time, you don't reach for it immediately. You choose what happens next. And maybe that's what 30 days without a smartphone would really teach you. You were never trying to escape your phone. You were trying to get your time back.